Okay, so I don't know about you, but I remember when Johnny Tsunami came out, and for those who haven't seen it, Johnny Tsunami was a movie about it was a kid who lived in Hawaii. He was a surfer, and then all of a sudden, he had to move to another place, which was like Arctic. Basically, it was cold, and all of a sudden, there were no waves. It was he had to surf, but snowboard. And so while snowboarding, he also had to encounter new people. Obviously, this is a whole new method of what he used to do, but he was utilizing those same skills, but in a way that kind of was like stretching him beyond his capacity. I've always been a fan of surfers because I think that it is amazing. Number one, if you just think about how waves are made and like what's happening before the wave even hits, right? There are a lot of chain reactions before that happens that go into how high a wave is, how fast it hits, and all these other things. And then there's also just the sheer watching a person ride that. This is like, are you really riding this 50-foot wave on this, I don't know, like 8-foot board? And then you're okay. You're just back over here on the beach. I just think for me, it's always been astounding, right? It's like a tear up from skateboarding almost. But not to get too far off track, I'm talking about waves. And the waves I've been thinking about recently in life are our waves of emotions and thoughts. And if you think about it in terms of being a surfer, right? If you're in the ocean and you have a surfboard, you are preparing to ride a wave. You're literally in the ocean for the purpose of catching and riding a wave. And can you imagine facing a 20 to 50-foot wave without a surfboard? Without any method with which to ride the wave? Or even worse yet, having what you need and not knowing how to catch the wave so you can ride it. Not being familiar. Now, if you realize that life is a big sea and moving towards your purpose, you have to utilize, modes of travel. You could swim or, maybe a boat, but we're talking about being a surfer, right? So you need to catch a wave on your surfboard to get to where you need to go. Otherwise, the wave swallows you up. Bringing this home to our emotions, anger, depression, anxiety. If a wave of your emotions come and you're like, I don't want to ride that wave, or like, I don't know how to deal with my anger. I don't know how to deal with my sadness. I don't know. Your anxiety kicks in, you shut down. You get swallowed up by the wave. Now, what happens if you're like, oof, I'm starting to get sad. I'm starting to get upset, or I'm about to be really happy and I need to make sure that I just kind of stay conscious of my emotions and how I create waves, as well as how I ride the waves of everything that happens as a result of these emotions and thoughts. This is not something that you will figure out in a day or a month or even a year. You have to watch yourself through multiple seasons of how you handle your ups and downs, because it's not like you'll be able to just beat everything, right? Like, oh, this makes me angry, I'm going to fix that. I won't be angry anymore. This makes me sad. I'm going to fix that. I won't be sad anymore. Or this intimidates me. I just won't be intimidated by it. I'm going to switch that. It doesn't work that way. You have to show yourself who you are in those moments. Okay, what does it look like when you're upset? Do you cry a lot? Okay. Let's get a box of Kleenex tissues so that way we're not annoyed that our nose is running and that we're crying. We have nothing to clean up with, right? That's really basic. If you're really happy, what are your emotions then, right? Because even being too happy, you can lose sight of things. You can get, we've all gotten like a check before, like a surplus of money, and then you stop thinking about working because, you got the next whatever month or 3 months covered of your life. You're not really worried about anything. Your brain switches. Being able to stay in tune with the waves of emotions and thoughts in your life and what they do to you, how they affect you, how they influence, push, and prod, all the other things that happen in your life will teach you how to maneuver with it. You'll understand that, okay, when this emotion or thought hits, my body does this, my mind does this, my surroundings do this, or my surroundings cause XYZ to happen, and I need to make sure that I'm not in that kind of environment during this season, or just whatever. You don't have to understand everything that I'm saying to understand that you need to audit how your emotions and thoughts are pushing and pulling you through life, so that you can ride those waves in a way that will make you feel honorable about how you've lived your life. It will also help you to just understand that things are not always going to be perfect and they're not going to always be ideal. The thing I love about surfers is that, like, they get excited when a storm is coming. Like, Like, if you watch, there's a movie called Point Break, I believe, and they would literally surf these waves that are supposed to like be borderline able to kill you. They're unsurfable waves. But I'm starting to understand that there is a healthy balance. I'm not going to say that you should look forward to your anger, look forward to your anything. But when it comes, you got to understand that that energy can be placed somewhere. It can be productive. You just have to understand how to maneuver yourself to understand what it does to you first, to then understand what energy you have to be able to do whatever it is you need to do after that. Stay tuned and in tune with what you're feeling, where you're going, and how everything about you responds, how everything around you responds. You'll learn how to ride the wave soon enough. Keep going. I believe in you.